Welcome back to the Level Up with Lacey podcast. What I do with every dollar that hits my bank account. The 1 hour weekly habit that changed everything inside my business. We are back with our second week inside of our Money Monday series, and I am so glad you guys are here today. It is a very dreary day in Oklahoma. It has been raining all week. Chance of rain tonight, chance of storms, and it's just dark and it's kind of cozy. And I had extra coffee this morning, so I am feeling like excited to be with you guys today and to be recording week number 2 and coming at you with a very important week that I'm excited to share with you guys. So let's just dive right in. Okay, being fully booked does not mean that you're profitable. Has nothing to do with how booked and your demand of time. Having a full salon and a full team certainly does not mean you're profitable. Some of the busiest salon owners that I know are the most financially stressed. So I want to welcome you guys to our second Money Monday, where we are going to be talking about the numbers and habits salon owners avoid, but desperately need to understand and adopt. Okay. So before we dive in today, I want to put a quick disclaimer out there. All right. I am not a profit first coach, and I'm definitely not a financial advisor. I'm simply a salon owner who implemented the profit first system in my businesses, and it has completely changed how I manage my money. And that's what we're going to be talking to you guys today, all about profit first and how I have used this method and implemented this inside of my life and my business. All right. Some of you guys have probably heard of profit first, and some of you guys probably have no idea what I'm talking about. So I'm excited to share this with you guys today. I think this book and method was introduced to me maybe 6 or 7 years ago. I want to say in 2019 or 2020 is when I actually first read the book. And I think it was 2020. I was actually driving to Amarillo to get my hair done with one of my best friends. And I listened to it like the whole way there, the whole way back, long ass drive. And I was like, I'm going to implement this. And then I got home and I did not implement this. I wish more than anything, looking back 6 years ago, I would have implemented this. Like, how much further ahead would I be now if I had started this 6 years ago? My mind wonders that a lot. I'll guarantee you a lot more ahead than what I am now. And so then I want to say in 2023, it's when I was training for my half marathon, I listened to it on Audible. I bought it. So I have the hard copy and the Audible. And I downloaded, purchased the Audible and listened to it while I was training and while I was doing a lot of running. And so this is the second time. And I did not implement. This was 2 or 3 years ago again. And I think because of having to start up the bank accounts, there's work involved in starting this method. A little bit of work. It's actually not as hard as what you think. We'll talk about that in a minute, but didn't implement it again. So this last year, 2025, last year, I read it again. Third time I have read this freaking book. Third time's a charm. And I implemented. I listened to the Audible and I rewinded, listened to chapters again to fully understand the ins and outs of this concept. Okay. So I want to talk about the core philosophy behind Profit First. Okay. The author is Mike Michalowicz, and I am going to link the book in the show notes. So if you're like, I'm interested by the end of this episode, you want to purchase the book, get the Audible, I will put a copy of it inside the show notes so you guys can go take a look. Okay. So here is what the central philosophy of this Profit First book is. Your traditional accounting, okay, if you talk to any accountant, is going to tell you that if you take your total revenue, all the money that you bring in your business, you subtract your expenses, you're going to get your profit. It's what left over, right? Like you've probably been taught this for years. Revenue minus expenses equals profit. Very simple strategy. Profit First does things a little bit differently. Profit First method is you take your revenue, subtract your profit, and you get your expenses, which is wildly, I'll say, more wise. Is that the word I'm looking for? Smarter strategy. subtract your profit from your total revenue, and what's left over is your expenses. That's essentially the philosophy, okay? The idea is simple. Profit shouldn't be what's left over after everyone and everything gets paid. It should be taken first. Take your profit first. Profit first. That's the name of the book. Mike Hallowitz, the author, argues that most entrepreneurs operate with a leftover mentality, meaning profit only appears if something happens to remain at the end of the month. So after we take out all these expenses, what's left? $3, there's your profit. Okay, I'm just throwing a number out, okay? Profit is not an event. Profit is a habit. And he preaches this inside of this book. And I would argue, or I would agree with this, that profit is a habit. It's behavioral changes, and something that I have done inside of my business this last year. If you take your profit first, you will be forced to run a smarter, leaner business. Okay? The system is intentionally designed to create discipline through structure, not willpower. All right? So, if you know anything about profit first, you probably have heard you got to open all these bank accounts. Okay? So many bank accounts. It's not so many, it's 4. 4 additional bank accounts. That's it. I want you to open 4 additional bank accounts. You should already have one main business bank account that you are running everything through. So you should have a business checking, I'm assuming. And I'm going to say, if you don't, and you're using your personal account, your personal debit card, your personal bank account to run all of your expenses through, and all of your money and transactions goes into that bank account, please, for the love of God, go get yourself a personal business checking account. Okay. Like today, tomorrow, make this a priority if you are not doing this. Most of you guys probably are. If you are not, this is number 1. So you're going to be opening 5 accounts, but if most of you already have a business account, assuming, so then you're going to open 4 additional accounts. Okay. We will get into those in just a minute. So let's talk about why. Why is the concept around this? Like, well, Lacey, why do I have to have these bank accounts? All right. One of the most important principles inside of Profit First is based on behavioral psychology. Mike Hallowitz, the author of this book, explains that humans naturally manage money better when it is visibly separated. So think about Dave Ramsey's strategy for a minute. If you follow Dave Ramsey, you probably know that he has an envelope system. These are essentially your separate bank accounts. Okay. He references the idea that people do this in their personal lives, envelopes for rent, groceries, etc. And you have these different pools of money to pull from. Okay. The bank accounts act as digital envelopes. All right. You physically can see how much money is available for each purpose instead of one giant lump sum bank account. All right. So that's the strategy behind why. So let's talk about the 5 core Profit First bank accounts. Now, the reason why I said I only wanted you to open up 4 is because you should already have 1. You don't need to go open up 5. So you should have 1 and then open up an additional 4. And we'll talk about what those are right now. These are the 5 foundational accounts described in the Profit First system. And these are the exact bank accounts I have. One of them is your income account. This is already your bank account you have right now. Okay. This is your holding tank. All your revenue goes here first. It pours into one bank account. But nothing stays here permanently. You're actually transporting money out of this account every week. Okay. In my situation, every single week. Its purpose is simply to collect deposits before allocations are made. You only move money out of this account into other accounts based on your percentages. And we'll get into that in just a minute. So this money, you're not putting any money into this or making any like manual bank transfers. The money is automatically deposited in here from your third party software, whether that's like Square or whatever you run your credit card processing through. It automatically is deposited into this one bank account, and then you are separating and pulling the money out of this bank account into your 4 other bank accounts. Hopefully you guys are with me right now. Okay. Second account. So first is income. Second, you need a profit account. Duh, profit first, okay? You need a profit account. This is your reward account. This is the fun account. The book emphasizes that profit should not be used to run the business. You should not dip into this bank account. Instead, it is meant to build financial health and reward the owner, which is you. Mike Hallowitz recommends taking a quarterly profit distributions from this account. All right. So in January, you're taking an allocation, you're pulling, okay? A quarterly profit distribution. That's what I meant to say, from this account in January for Q4. Okay. Q1 is January, February, March. So come April, first week of April, you are going to be taking a quarterly distribution from this bank account based on Q1. And this is exactly how I run this. I take quarterly distributions and pull it from this profit account. Half is typically taken as a reward and half can remain as a safety reserve. So I'm actually not wiping this out. I do as the book says, and I leave half of the profit in the account and I pull the other half out and transfer it to my bank account. Okay. So you are building every single week and putting money and pulling your profit first. It's the most important one right here, the profit account. Okay. Number 3, you need to open an owner's pay account. This is your salary as the salon owner. Many entrepreneurs pay employees and you pay all your people and you pay all the things, but you neglect to pay yourself. I have talked to many salon owners, and I might be talking to you right now where you're like, yeah, Lacey, I don't. A lot of my money goes to pay the bills. Let's put a hard stop to that right now. Okay. There's a lot of different reasons of why this could be happening. I'm not going to get into those reasons right now, but you need an owner's pay account and you need to pay yourself first. Pay yourself first before you pay anyone else. Okay. This account ensures that you, the salon owner, is compensated consistently, bi-weekly, every 2 weeks. Mike Hallowitz stresses that owners should not rely only on leftover profits or random withdrawals. It's going to lead to burnout real fast. Owners' pay should be predictable and structured. I pay myself a reasonable compensation from this account every 2 weeks from my owner's pay account. And if you're wondering what a reasonable compensation is for your business, that's a conversation that you should be having with your accountant or CPA. Okay. I cannot tell you what to put yourself on a salary and what to take bi-weekly. All right. You need to discuss that with your accountant and CPA. There's a lot of factors, where you live, like there's tons of things that go into play, but you should be taking owner's pay and a salary every 2 weeks. That's how I recommend you pay yourself. And then remember, above and beyond with the withdrawal, quarterly, you're taking distributions, your profit distribution. Okay. So you are making more than this, should be. All right, tax account number 4, the fucking tax account. I hate this stupid account, but you got to pay your taxes, okay? So this account is exactly what it sounds like. It holds money that will eventually go to the government. Without this separation, many businesses unknowingly spend their tax money during the year and then panic during tax season. Been there, done that. Raising my hand right now. I have been there more times than what I want to tell you guys. It's like, shit, we owe several $1,000s to the IRS and we don't have that money. I don't want that for you. So the goal here is that when taxes are due, the money is already waiting. It's sitting in the bank account and your business pays the taxes, not you. That's another big thing that I love about the Profits First method is you are actually not paying this personally. Your business is paying your taxes. So you need a tax account. You're pulling money every week and putting it in this account. Last but not least, and the biggest account for most of you guys is going to be your operating expense account. We also call this OPEX, OPEX. I'm going to say that again, so in case you guys are taking notes, OPEX, your operating expense account. Okay. This is the only account used to run the business. Pay all the bills. Everything from rent to software, subscriptions, supplies comes out of this account. It's where the majority of the transactions are going to come out of. All right. The profit first philosophy forces businesses to run leaner by limiting what can be spent here. The operating account becomes the spending boundary for the business. This is how much money you have to spend. Take it or leave it for what it is. And when you have only that amount of money, you will only spend that amount of money. Okay? When I pay my credit card weekly, this is the account that it comes out of. Because every single transaction I run and put on my credit card to utilize for free money and perks and flights and all those things. Okay? More on credit cards are to come next week inside of the series. So I'm not going to dabble into that right now, but I put everything on my credit card, and then weekly on Mondays during Money Monday, when I pay my credit card off, the credit card is paid off by the operating expense account. You guys see how that works? So it's basically a wash. It's flowing through to that account, but those are all of my expenses, all of subscriptions, rent, things like that. Everything comes out of the OpEx account. Okay. So those are the accounts you guys need. I'll go over these one more time so you guys can make sure that we're all on the same page. The first one is your income account. You guys already have this. Second is your profit account. Third is your owner's pay account. Fourth is your tax account. And 5 is your OpEx account, or your operating expenses. All right. Let's get into percentages for a minute. Profit First has you figure out something called your caps and your taps. This is very important that you guys understand this. The system uses 2 different percentage frameworks. Caps, the first one, is your current allocation percentages. How much are you spending on what right now? How much are you spending on payroll, rent? How much is owner's pay? How much in taxes? Like, you have a percentage of your overall money. A certain percentage is being paid already and allocated to these things. This is called your caps, your current allocation percentages. These represent where your money is currently going. It's your financial reality. So I'm going to give you guys an example, for instance. Let's say your profit is 2%. So you're profiting 2% of your total revenue. Your owner's pay is 30%. Your taxes are 15%, and your operating expense is 53%. Those numbers are just pulled from ChatGPT, okay? Pulled out of thin air. This shows how your business currently distributes money. Caps are usually calculated using your last 12 months of financial data. So you can go and find this based on an average of 12 months. The purpose of caps is awareness. Okay? You cannot change what you don't measure. Your caps are not meant to make you feel good. They're meant to tell you the truth. And honestly, they suck. And unless you're running a tight business right now and you're doing all the things great, then more power to you. I looked at my caps and I said, oh shit, we got to make some changes. It can feel defeating, but you need to know where your percentages are. You need to know your current reality right now. Okay? So in the beginning, if you start implementing this method, you're going to figure out what your caps are. Okay. Now let's shift to taps. These are your target allocation percentages. So these are in like a perfect world. This is what we want to get to. All right. Taps represents where your money should ideally go. What's your target percentages? They are the long-term goal percentages for a healthy business. Michalowicz provides suggested ranges based on business size. All right. So you're going to look at, if you do the profit assessment, like the very first assessment that you do inside of this framework, you're going to be categorized based on how much total revenue you do in your business. And these are going to be the taps based on your business. All right. The gap between the caps and the taps, because there is going to be a gap, shows what needs to change over time. So little by little, you're going to move your percentages closer to your taps, your target goal. All right. The book strongly advises not making drastic changes immediately. So you're not just going to go and be like, all right, I'm spending 73% on OpEx. Let's get it to 40. Whoop. Where's that money going to come from? Like, how are you going to do that? That stresses me out a little. You going to fire half your team, half your payroll? No. Little by little, you're going to move these percentages. Okay. You adjust allocations slowly over time, and you can read more how to do this inside the book. All right. So how does the allocation process work? This is the habit inside of Money Monday. So this is where it all ties into place. So listen up, hear me out. Profit First typically recommends that you do allocations twice per month. I actually do mine every single week during Money Monday. I do my allocations weekly. Okay. So here's the process. All of the deposits land in my income account for 7 days. We've got deposits going in every day. Monday, money hits my bank account. Tuesday, money hits my bank account. Wednesday, money hits my bank account. Maybe you skip a day. There was nothing that hit your bank account on Thursday. Friday, money hits your bank account, and so forth. When clients are checking out at your salon and they're paying through your Square or Mevo or Mango Mint, whatever your software is, and they swipe their credit card through your third party processor, it's going to hit your bank account. For 7 days, you're going to tally these deposits. Okay? And you're going to get a lump sum. This is how much hit my bank account in 7 days. That's your total deposits. On allocation day, which is Money Monday, we do this every single Monday, you're going to total the deposits. I do this inside of a spreadsheet. I have inside of Google Sheets a really freaking cool spreadsheet where I track all of this. There's a tab at the bottom, one for the calculator, one for the weekly deposits. Weekly deposit, I go through and I see, okay, Monday, this much money hit my bank account. Tuesday, this much. And I go through and I actually insert all of my daily deposits. And then I sum it up, highlight the cells, hit sum. It'll automatically calculate it inside Sheets, and it gives me a lump sum of how much hit my bank account in a week. I copy and paste that. I go to the bottom and I have another tab that's a calculator. It's really freaking cool. And I put that in this calculator and it automatically has my percentages and it tallies everything to where the money now needs to be distributed to all the bank accounts. Are you guys with me? So you're going to apply your allocation percentages. You can do this manually or create a really cool spreadsheet like I have. And you're going to transfer the money now and do a bank transfer from your income account to your profit, owner's pay, tax, and operating expense. It's a very simple process, but it's intentional. And my biggest harp to you guys is going to be that you make this a habit every single Monday. Or maybe you do Finance Friday and you're not in the salon on Fridays, and Fridays are the day that you do your money. Do it on Fridays. I really don't give a flip what day of the week it is. I just like the acronyms of like Money Monday or Finance Friday. The point is to stick to your time blocking and freaking do it, and don't let it back up 3 to 4 to 5 weeks. And then you have this lump sum and the money's not there. You've spent it. You have to stick with this every single week or bi-weekly if you choose to do that. Okay. When you remove your profit first, you are forced to innovate and run your business more efficiently. I've noticed it inside my business because I'm like, oh, this is all that's in the operating expense account. That's all we have to spend. Okay. Profit first doesn't magically make your business profitable. It reveals whether your business is profitable. And it makes you aware to start making some changes. That's the biggest thing that I want to hit. It made me aware to start making some changes inside my business. It has been the biggest thing this last year that we've done inside of personal finances, business finances, that has moved the needle forward and been a game changer, you guys. If you're going to implement profit first, read the book, read it a second time, read it a third time if you have to, like me. I'm one that I just got to process it all and go all in. Do it and go all in. And spend some time. When you do the initial assessment, we're stylists, we're salon owners. We're not always tech savvy or good with numbers. Like, do it until you understand it. Use ChatGPT and AI to help you in the process. You probably don't even have to freaking read the book if you don't want to. And you could get into ChatGPT and say, I want to implement profit first. How do I get started? It's going to spit off the assessment. It's going to spit off, figure out your caps, your current allocation percentages, figure out your taps, make sure you open your bank accounts, blah, blah, blah. There's so much more to this process. I'm giving you guys a very bite-sized piece. They even have you open up like separate accounts at other banks. I'm not going to get into that right now. If you want to know about that, read the book. Okay. There's also a specific profit first just for salon owners. Those of you guys that know this might have read the salon owner version. Okay. It's called Profit First for Salons. I have personally read the original Profit First by Mike Michalowicz. Okay. The one for the salon specific one, I have not read yet. Okay. So I am not going to teach on I'm not even teaching you guys this method. I am telling you guys what I have done in my business to give you inspiration to possibly go and implement and do the same thing. All right. So if you want to read the Profit First for Salons, go for it and then come back and give me the feedback. or read both of them. Okay. I might read the salon one day. I might not. I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but what we're doing is working. And I want to treat my business like a business regarding what industry I'm in. But if I know being in the service-based industry, salons are very different. I just don't want to make an excuse and just say, just because I'm a salon, I have to operate this way. No, I want to operate as a whole and compare myself to other industries and not just specifically to salons. That's my choice. Okay. All right. Profit first didn't magically make my business profitable. It forced me to look at my numbers every single week and make data-based decisions. That's exactly what it did. And I freaking look forward to Mondays because I think it's exciting to see what the weekly deposits were. And I'm like, ooh, did we have a good week? Did we have a bad week? Oh, why were we slow on these 3 days? Like, you have a pulse inside your business when you're in your numbers every week. And when you're not, the fear and the anxiety, you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. And then you panic and you make emotional decisions when you should be basing it off of data. Okay. I hope you guys are loving our Money Monday series. This has been so fun. This is only our second week and we got so much more for you guys. So I hope you stay with us. I hope you continue to be with us every single week inside of our Money Monday series. Over the next few weeks, we're diving into numbers that actually move your salon and your bank accounts forward. If you're ready to stop living in fear when you check your bank account, then I hope you would join me for the next couple of weeks as we continue inside of our Money Monday series. All right. I love you guys so, so much. I am going to drop a link for you guys in the show notes. So we've got the book link so you guys can go and make sure you got the right book, whether it's Audible or order the hard copy on Prime. And then I'm also going to put a link for podcast recommendations. I love to hear from you guys. Of what you guys want to see and hear. And if you're like, Lacey, I want to hear you talk about this, or what about this topic? I'm always all ears and open for new topics to discuss. So as we plan out our upcoming months and you have an idea, drop it in our form. I'm going to put it inside of the show notes. Okay. All right. So much love to you guys. Thank you for being here inside of the Level Up with Lacey podcast. I'm your host, Lacey Gibo, and I'll see you guys same time, same place right here next week. Bye, guys.